PlayStation. State of Play, man. We watched it. And we have a lot of opinions on it. You guys know I like events. I'm a big fan of events. Get to see the newest games coming out. And I've always been one of those people that I'll watch just about any event, indie events, PlayStation, Nintendo Directs, Pokemon events. I just like seeing newer news. I like seeing what I'm going to be playing in the foreseeable future. And I also like seeing, what the roadmap is for games. And I think a lot of people, had expectations for this state of play. And I want to talk about it. What's going on, you guys? Gaming Out here, coming at you in another video. Today we're going to be talking about PlayStation State of Play. They copied this off of the Nintendo Direct. And what's interesting about this is, first off, I want to say, let's go over the line of stuff. And then we'll talk about my initial impressions on it. So, first we got Monster Hunter Wilds. Now, this particular game, I didn't think this game needed to be there. Not even a little bit. Because to me, Monster Hunter Wilds is coming out in a couple weeks. I don't like when companies do that. They will, essentially about to release a title. And then what they do is they show it at the event right before it comes out. We already know the game's coming out. Maybe promotion, I get it. Marketing, I get it. But it's just we've seen a lot of Monster Hunter Wilds. I'm not going to dock it for that, but I thought it was kind of interesting. That Shinobi Art of Vengeance was here. I, myself, am not a Shinobi fan. But I know people that are huge Shinobi fans, and they lost their mind with this game. It looked good. I'm not going to say, it was the best game that they showed or anything like that. But I will say that this is one of the titles that was shown that I'm very interested to trying out. I think I will try Shinobi. I played the older Shinobis from a podcast thing. A bunch of people came together and made me play a bunch of older games, and Shinobi was one of them. Sonic Racing Worlds. Well, Sonic Racing Cross Worlds. It looks like a Mario Kart type of game. What's funny is, my friends were saying that it's interesting that Sonic, being so fast, is in a car. Kind of doesn't make a whole lot of sense. And I didn't even think about it till they said something like that. Tails is obviously in a car, and that makes sense. Because Tails is in a car the majority of the time, and so is Shadow. Knuckles. But when it comes to Sonic, in Shadow particularly, it is kind of interesting that they are in vehicles. This title didn't really do a whole lot for me. I'm not saying that I'm against Sonic. I think Sonic's a great game, but I don't know about a kart racing type of game. It's not really kart racing. Shadow was on a big wheel truck. He was in a huge a monster truck. Then we got something that caught me off guard, that it took me a good amount into the game to know what it was, and it's Digimon. Now, for those of you that don't know, I do have an extensive past with Digimon, and it's a very interesting game that it was here because I didn't expect it. Digimon used to be just as popular as Pokemon. I don't know. Maybe it wasn't. Maybe Digimon was never as popular as Pokemon. I don't know. Do you guys think Digimon at one point in time was close to the popularity of Pokemon when they both were coming out? Because to me, I always remember people were fighting between what was better, Pokemon or Digimon. This game caught me completely off guard. I'm going to be honest with you. This game, I was it took me a minute to find out what this game was. And when I found it, because I think I saw one of the Digimon, and I was like, it can't be that. It can't be the Digimon. But yeah, it ended up being Digimon, man. I hope the best for it. I don't think we've really got a good Digimon game in quite a while. And it looked turn-based to me, so I feel like we're probably going to see something on that eventually. So it's very interesting that we got that. Digimon is something I'm definitely interested in trying out. And then we got an exclusive. I think this is the first big exclusive that we got. It was called The Lost Soul Aside. Now, we've seen this game a couple times, I would say. We've seen it a couple times. This game does look good. Kind of looks like a little bit, like Noctis from Final Fantasy 15. The main character looks almost identical to him when he's an adult. So I'm very interested to see exactly what this game does in the long run of things. We'll have to see. Very curious on that particular part. The next game is something that, I think everyone pretty much saw, which I'm not going over these in all. I will put a link in the description if you guys want to see every single game. They had WWE 2K. Once again, this game's coming out in a couple months. Keep in mind, State of Play PlayStation did say this was a third-party thing at the beginning. But still, I feel like I was like really disappointed with this game in general. I did not expect it to be exactly what's going on. Next game was kind of interesting, was Borderlands. Now, maybe I'm wrong, and I think you guys need to correct me if I'm wrong. But I really feel like they told me in this Borderlands trailer that this game was coming out for the PlayStation 4. Maybe I misheard something. I don't know. Because in that case, it's a cross-gen game. And we're in 2025 still getting cross-gen games. That's crazy. That's insane. But, it is what it is. I am looking forward to Borderlands. But, seeing that it is coming out for last gen was a little disappointing. Still going to play it. Still going to try it out. But I was definitely disappointed in that matter. Because it's not that I have anything against cross-gen games. I just know that those particular games is, it holds the foundation of the game back a little bit. Split Fiction was the next one. I've already sold on this game. I've been a huge fan of their games for a while now. Split Fiction, they're made by the same people that make, the A Ways Out. They also made It Takes Two. And this dude, Joseph Argus, he knows how to make games. He is very successful at what keeps people's engagement throughout the game. He made a really good statement once where he said, I looked at the amount of time people play and the amount of percentage of people beating games, and it was extremely low. And his encouragement this whole time is that engagement throughout the game to get you to consistently continue playing it. And it's worked out for him, man. It's worked out for Joseph Argus. He's done a really good job, showing people that they should continue playing the games that they're playing. We had Supermassive Games that came in. Supermassive Games, they're the people that make Until Dawn. They made the Quarry. They've made a lot of these type of games. And at first I thought this was an Alien type game. Turns out it wasn't. It's got some, segments that feel like Alien, but it's not an Alien game. They didn't really go into it. This is going to be a change in scenery from the games they typically make. I don't know if they're going to try to make something a little bit more action-paced or if this is going to be the core, type of gameplay that they generally make. Very curious to see exactly what they do with that game in the long run. I'm a huge fan of Supermassive Games. I think a lot of people would be really interested in playing that particular game. They showed Metal Gear Solid here. A lot of people love Metal Gear Solid. I don't mind it. I've never played this Metal Gear Solid that we're looking at now, but I do think that I'm willing to give it a try when it actually does come out. I think this is a really good way, just kind of like the Resident Evil games. It's a good way of getting you into these these older franchises, being brought to a newer audience. I would be with this one. I definitely grew up in the time era that Metal Gear Solid was extremely popular, but I could say I miss the better ones. A lot of people tell me Metal Gear Solid 2 is the best one they've made. I don't know about that. You guys will have to, expand on that. Days Gone Remastered was here. This actually kind of caught me off guard. I know that there was a rumor that this was being done behind closed doors, but I didn't think it was going to happen. But it did catch me off guard because, according to PlayStation, this game was a straight-up flop. And I'm very curious to see, are they entertaining bringing a second one back? Does this remaster have to make a lot of money for that to happen? I don't know. I feel like the original one made decent money. And, it's interesting that they decide that this particular game doesn't get a new, version, but the other ones do. look, guys, it comes down to it. The last game I kind of want to talk about today, because there's a bunch. There's a bunch of stuff in here. Bunch of stuff I didn't even go into. The show was 40 minutes long, and I actually felt like they had a lot of decently solid stuff. But they got Soros. It's made by the people who make Returnal. For those of you who don't know, I played a good amount of Returnal. I never beat Returnal. A lot of people are trying to get me and King to co-op this game, to co-op Returnal. But, Soros looks like it's going to be in the same vein as Returnal. I don't know if they'll try to, like, put them in the same universe or something like that. Maybe this is her husband, and he's on another planet. I think it's going to be very interesting. Look, when it comes down to it, here's my thing with this. I go into these state of plays with like zero expectation. That's just me. I know a lot of people, have expectations with this stuff. I can't be disappointed if my bar was almost to the ground. And that's generally where it was. It was almost to the ground. Look, I really want to see these games, but I will say that the state of play was very mid. It was nothing special about it. Most of these games we've seen 1, 2, maybe even 3 times. Most of these games, where there was a bunch of DLCs coming in this stuff. There was a lot of stuff that was going on with this game that I'm very curious on exactly what's happening with this. But, it comes down to it. It's like my personal opinion. I had no expectations with this game. I didn't, with this state of play, I didn't expect a whole lot. Unless PlayStation comes out and they use the word showcase, I always expect to see a bunch of repeating titles, some third party, but not necessarily a whole lot of first party. We got a little bit of first party here, but it wasn't a lot. I think the games as a service dramatically hurt PlayStation's output when it comes to first party, and you're going to have to wait a significant amount of time to actually see that. But anyway, you guys tell me what you guys think in the comment section below. I'm very curious to hear your guys' opinion on this. I appreciate all the support you guys have been giving me. Tell me what you guys' favorite game that was announced at the show. Put in the comment section below. And until next time, this is Gaming Addict. I'm out of here. Peace.